Dr. Tim Jacks has two children, 8-month-old Eli and his older child Maggie, who has leukemia. He had taken Maggie in to have a blood test done at her local family physician's office, and because of another parent who had brought their unimmunized child into his office hours earlier, Maggie was exposed to the measles. In a normal, healthy child, this can be catastrophic, but for poor Maggie, it was life or death. There are people who need to realize that their decisions affect other people beyond their own families, and sometimes the path to hell is paved with good intentions. These people who choose not to immunize their children are practicing what's called herd immunity. And the CDC and the medical community describe herd immunity and the benefits of it for certain classes of people. It's recommended for people who can't have the vaccines because of allergies, age, or health issues like poor Maggie. There are some people who choose not to have it done because they believe it's wrong. But they don't understand that there are people who can't have it done for medical reasons, that they are putting at risk. And I'd like to try to help people understand that a little bit better today. Like Maggie's leukemia, there are certain diseases that prevent a person's ability to be vaccinated. Most vaccines contain a live virus, such as the measles vaccine, rubella, and the mumps. Autoimmune diseases like leukemia, most types of cancer, anything that is going to lower your tolerance to other infections is going to make it difficult for you to receive a vaccine. And then there are certain seizure disorders that are also preventative to having the vaccine, because there is a small chance that the proteins used to contain the viruses can cause more seizures. Dr. Jacks's family had a even more complicated series of events than just as small as it may be. Maggie's leukemia. Her younger brother Eli was only 8 months old, and according to the CDC, children under the age of a year can't receive the viruses because of the risks to survival. So not only was poor Maggie exposed to the virus, she also exposed her younger brother Eli, who was unable to receive the vaccine. And this could have been devastating for that family. And it was because another family chose not to vaccinate their child. When the government makes a vaccine, like for the measles, there are certain ingredients used to keep the strains together and keep them alive outside of a human body, because viruses thrive inside a human body or inside somewhere that's warm or meets their own survival demands. The things that help us make a vaccine, like egg protein, bovine or porcine gelatin, which is made from cow's or pig's blood, latex, and yeast, are all parts of the vaccine. And people who have allergies to those things, the eggs, the meat, the latex, and yeast, can't have the MMR vaccine. And so they're exposed to an even greater risk. There's a list from the NCBI that shows how herd immunity should work. And there should be a minimum number of people who are not vaccinated versus the majority of people who are. The more people that are capable of being vaccinated and aren't, the worse the herd immunity works. It's like having holes in a fence. It rips it apart, and the bigger the holes, the more is going to get through. As a parent, I understand the desire to protect our own children, but the option to turn down this life-saving vaccine should be reserved for people who can't have it. The other people who are refusing to vaccinate run the risk of causing life-threatening illnesses in their own children, as well as the people who have no choice but to rely on other people for their own immunity. People with severe illnesses, allergies, and are too young for the disease rely on everyone else being vaccinated to keep them from getting it. You're just risking your own child by not taking this vaccine that has nearly wiped out the measles disease in this country. The people who choose that they should not vaccinate need to remember that their choice isn't just about their own child. It's also about all the children and adults around them that are susceptible to more risk.